Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
I'm Angru, hello, hello, hello.
And folks, today in Orsha East, on the slopes of Orsha East, we have a battle of skiers. Rang, who do we have?
On the left-hand side in blue, we have Brigadier General Turner playing as first Skijaeger with a Maverick income. And on the right-hand side in red, we have shkodder playing third Canadians with a Flatline income. And we're seeing a very early off-map artillery, which definitely is going to try and blow up that northern forest to Kingdom Come.
But that's kind of what you need, too. Not for nothing. Yeah, there we go. And actually looking at where shkodder is dropping his troops out, he knows it, too, which is why he's backing up. I actually like him being reactive to this. This is actually kind of a nice thing to see.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a very smart play. Usually people just kind of go all in. So, but actually saying, hey, as a recon plane that can drop artillery, maybe I shouldn't go into the obvious spot. But he is going to be a little bit out-positioned in the forest, outside, but it is better than being blown up to bits, and it seems like General Turner is just going to blow up his own troops instead.
Well, again, death is a statistic, and hopefully, yeah, he's slowly pulling them out now, but they're going to get shellacked in a second.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, it's going to be really funny for me if the Canadians are like, now we go.
that would be pretty funny. And that seems like that's what's gonna happen.
Canucks!
Okay.
Dive!
Yeah, I'm really sorry to is this happening to you. But yeah, it was a bit of a silly play moving the infantry into the off map.
Well, he's calling another one in. So as we look to areas where our troops are not being slain by their own ordnance, I feel like down to the south, actually, we have another breakout as Brigadier General Tour is desperately trying to put something in the way of this mad dash of Humbers, Staghounds, and yeah, this light vehicle rush is just absolutely deadly.
Yeah, this is really cool seeing this like armored recon car assault here from the Canadians, because those Humbers and Staghounds are they're pretty decent little vehicles. The Humbers more for infantry support, the Staghounds for dealing with armor. You know, it's not the best anti-armor vehicle, but yeah, that was a very damn good push and allowing shkodder to storm the position.
However, that looks like it's about to end.
Yeah. Can't really do too much against... Unless he can flank at T-34, I don't think he can really do too much.
I think you have to actually hard force that maneuver, though, and I don't know that that's going to happen.
Yeah. See, he's moving his armored recon cars back, trying to get into an ambush position, which is definitely the good call. I think, yeah, he's going to be placing his Staghound just to lock on that road. Maybe get a sneaky side shot.
In other places, though, we are going to see artillery fall down on troops that are not his own. Brigadier General Tour is going to take control of the center town pretty quickly, even with the Staghound AAs that are sitting off just outside the town.
Yeah, not really going to be doing too much, yeah, but... Yeah, pretty light play from the central town position. Usually this is one of the major hotspots early on as people try to be king of the hill, but neither side really throwing in too much infantry here. Let's see Canadians, as they only have one defense group, which it's not really much of a defense.
Like a speed bump.
Yeah, a very, very minor speed bump. You look back and go, oh, it's just like two Brig guns, yeah.
It's like, ka-thump, what was that? Ah, just keep driving. It's pothole, really. Looking down to the south, though, yes, we are going to have this sneaky beaky Staghound behind, and the Humbers, I think, are even considering an end run as well.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, I imagine if you aren't Finnish, you probably like this quite a bit. I imagine the Finns have a different thought process on it. And to the north, if you just look at the rows of fallen Finns, you'll see it's very much a fish out of water scenario. I think the artillery now might actually fall back on Canadian positions, but even then shkodder is being very attentive, at least spreading his troops out. He's moving them around. I was trying to minimize it moderately.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be the last off-map, yeah, for Brigadier Generals, so he's got some Skijaegers and Skijaeger Pioneers in position, so maybe it's time, you know, after the off-map drops, he can actually make an offensive into the forest.
It is certainly
Seems to be the
possible.
case. Off map's dropped, and there we go.
You know, this is one of those things I remember, and this goes back several years. I remember reading some Tom Clancy passage with the TOT barrage, and I'm just trying to imagine just the feeling as, like, oh yes, okay, I'm sitting in defensive positions, and suddenly everything, within about 500 meters in either direction, just explodes.
Yeah.
Gotta have been absolutely terrifying.
Just from, you know, scary big death guns from, you know, kilometers away.
And you're not even in a trench. You're out in the open.
No.
Congratulations.
No.
Side note, we have a staghound who is so far behind enemy lines, I'm pretty sure he's going to need a postcard just to kind of tell everyone where he is.
He's going for the cross-European tour.
Well,
Yeah, using a recon unit is definitely a good move, because he can see those trucks.
I think what I probably would have done, though, is I probably would have gone stuck him into those trees to the northeast and just sat him on hold fire.
But he knocks out Ron, will he get the second?
Oh, yeah. Of course he will.
Oh, damn, that was some pretty fine shooting there from the unvetted staghound, so he's just going to be causing a bit of havoc behind enemy lines.
Certainly a bit, yes. Now, remember, though, as you can see here, the off-map, there's more than one of those, and we've seen that happen right now. Of course, there's one less as we speak. But one last artillery barrage might be enough to see him gain a little bit of utility.
Yeah. The problem with Brigadier General Tur right now in the center here, he doesn't have any infantry to back up his off-map artillery push.
Yep.
So, I mean, he has the half-track, which is a good unit for, you know, getting some easy surrenders, and he's just going to kill that Sherman, it seems, with his mighty T-34. But yeah.
Outside of that, though, he is slowly retaking the north. I don't know. It's an iffy proposition, but I could see him taking everything that's back. Oh my gosh, this Skijaeger Sharpschützen gonna get taken on out unless the Stug gets there in time. Stugführer. And there we go, cool.
It would have been funny if the Staghound blew up the Stag, but it would definitely be a little bit too ridiculous.
Yeah, at that point I've been like, okay, time to flip the desk.
Yeah.
And the south returns to the fold. Maybe not the entire south. They're a little bit frisky down there. But looking back to the north, actually, real quick, another Stug up here, and Skijaeger Pioneers. The Sturm Skijaeger coming in behind as well, so this might be the end of these defense groups.
Yeah. General Tur is making a pretty good counter-offensive up north. With that off-map artillery barrage. He's a little bit light in infantry, though. He definitely could use some more reinforcements, but usually as received his northern side. Once you fully consolidate, capture it, consolidate, and set up a good defensive position, you pretty much have it for the rest of the match, and it's 2 easy flags under your control.
Well, that was the weird thing too. I just realized just now that Shkodder's been doing this with a light economic advantage. If you look down otherwise, I mean, Brigadier General Tur is... well, he's going to get a lot more eco in about 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's really when, you really has to make or break. Because yeah, once you get into C phase, that 50-point income difference is absolutely going to be killer for him. And 3rd Canadians have a pretty good late game, with just the amount of rifles that they can spam, and also access to Sherman tanks. And Fireflies.
Truth. Oh my gosh, we have the ugly KV-2 coming in.
Yeah.
And a Humber actually is behind enemy lines now as well, so it appears one time was not enough.
Nope.
Oh yeah, this is gonna get bad.
Yeah, I really do like seeing that, like, annoying, like, sneaky recon play. You definitely don't see it enough with armored recon vehicles. On a map like this, especially down south, you definitely have better opportunity to do such silly strategies. But there's some pretty good recon tanks out, yeah. I mean, you can get a bloody recon panther, for Christ's sake. Imagine flanking behind enemy lines with that.
Certainly could be quite devastating. Meanwhile, we're going to see a JU-87 not even getting a chance to drop its payload goes down. And shockingly enough, the Finns in the north are technically cut off.
That's the Germans can't.
For Skijaeger?
Yeah, it's a German ski
Oh
division.
my gosh, you're absolutely right. I don't know why I keep thinking Finnish.
Well, it's got skis, it's...
And you know
I
what?
don't blame you.
I think that's why I was thinking about that. It wasn't the Lederhosen. I should have seen the Lederhosen. You're right. But looking elsewhere, what's this? Another wave of Bren groups? No, rifles. Oh my gosh. And this is the thing that we don't quite always get to appreciate fully, is the sheer ways of Canadians that fly on in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's... I mean, that's a Commonwealth division, so they just have crazy amount of rifle spam. Just a lot. They're not great infantry, mind you, but you get a lot of them, which is really the key. Is right now in the current ST2 meta, infantry is just a numbers game. It's just if you have more, and hopefully not disheartened.
Well, what is kind of disheartening right now is that the stack count AAs are actually doing something. They're killing the Dornier that just kind of came on through, and you never quite appreciate how much firepower all of those machine guns put out until you see it happen.
Indeed.
Oh no, and 2 Bofors as well. Jeez, why would you fly
crap.
anywhere close to there?
Yeah, I'm really crazy. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised too in how our stack count Ray is doing it. It doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't seem right considering it's only 250 cal machine guns. But I don't know. It's
They got the dual Bofors behind there as well, though, too. They're 240 mils.
okay. Yeah, up north. Yeah, I was looking down south with just the single stand count. Yeah, those 2-star bow, that 1 2-star bow force, the other one needs to get a little bit closer to get the extra bonus veterancy. Such a shame it's been relegated to off-map and command duties now, instead of being the, crazy A-phase tank that you have, which bounces off pack 40 shots. They're a small bit historically accurate, that's what they were really used for, was off-map and command. You didn't really see much proper frontline fighting.
Well, kind of hard to fight that off. I mean, this is no longer male-female tanks that we're concerned about here. There's an equality of the tank sexes.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is a Storm Fusilier in the center who's just slowly killing Rifle Squad 3,
Holy
4.
crap. He's not even in the building. But by God, he doesn't need to be. He just needs a couple guys with assault rifles.
5. I think he's had 4 or 5 kills by himself.
Yeah.
And not to be outdone, we actually have 2 more machine guns and 2 more Pioneer squads being thrown on into the center. Not for nothing,
Holy
though.
crap.
Brigadier General Tour is definitely on his heels.
Mm-hmm.
To put it mildly.
He's pretty much holding off that entire push with goddamn, the Storm Fusilier squad. That's really quite fascinating. I know the STGs definitely get overstated a lot in its actual historical effectiveness, and they would have built more, they would have run the war. But it must have been pretty nuts as an allied soldier to, pick up a captured, STG rifles. Like, shit, this thing has 30 shots, it's fully automatic, and not all soldiers get them, but have them a decent amount. That must have been a bit crazy.
Well, yeah, and just the sheer amount of firepower coming on out. I mean, yes, you had the MP40, and you had things like the
SMGs.
Exactly, and they had the M3 being made out of that too.
Of that.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But if they just built more of them, Khan, they would have won the war.
There was a time and place I would have been like, I have the energy to debate you about that. At this point, I just don't care. And I say that as a guy who, as a child, was like a huge wereaboo, so...
Yeah, same. I was guilty of that stuff too. I played a lot of Men of War Assault Squad in high school, and it gave me very unrealistic expectations of how German equipment actually was effective. Because it wasn't just one-on-one tank fights.
No, of course not. The Shermans had to take 4.
Mm-hmm. And then the 5th run comes in, and then it blows everything up. And then the cycle repeats.
Oh yeah, well I mean
It's like basic algorithm. It's like a basic math.
I was gonna say it's like imaginary numbers, which is ironically exactly how much sense this makes really overall. But down to the south, actually, we do have 2 T-34-42s trying to keep pace with this 57 mil, and I think probably able to do so. Yep, that's
Yeah.
one bit of success for them. But 5 minutes to go, and I think there's more red in this center position than there is on the entirety of the blue side.
Yeah, he has the numbers game, especially against Skijaeger, which doesn't have a lot of infantry troops or a lot of stuff in general. Definitely more lighter in terms of numbers, but yeah, goddamn, just having that many Shermans is scary. Having that many rifles is scary. He probably should maybe move up some of the rifles to be in front of the Shermans, but that's not too much of an issue right now.
What is an issue, though, is the way that he's allowed his own material, let's say, his material surplus to not be utilized more aggressively. Yeah, like this off-map biplane. Come on, you have to know you got to throw your artillery barrage down immediately.
Yes, a lot of anti-air heads in his radio. He is putting down markers and radar position chart, but he does lose the off-map, which is definitely not ideal in the slightest. Yeah, might have been out of charges. I don't know. Maybe he's using it to bait enemy fire to try to pick up AA positions, but even then.
Well, I do think, though, that I was wondering where the heck his artillery is, and he finally has a piece out on the map. So 150 to start engaging. Where's he looking? Oh, he's looking down at the anti-tank gun. I guess moderately understandable, but I'd like to think... Oh, no, there he is. He's going after the Apo first.
But he definitely needs more fields. Infantry on the front line in the centre here, or a bit more. I say anti-tank, but it does have one Pack 40 and a T-34, which is something, I guess.
Correction, he had one. He had one Pack 40.
Yeah, the Spitfire definitely put an end to crew's careers. And we are starting to see a small push here from shkodder of the rifles, leading the charge.
We'll see the 150 shot go here. Because if he's remotely close to that thing, he is going to kill it, but it's a big if.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been closer. And this next shot's not going to do much better.
Yeah, Brigadier General just really barely holding on to the center here. I mean, he's not doing too good in terms of points, and looking at like the income and how it's going to look in C phase and just the general momentum. Yeah, General Turn has, it does not look great for him, really. He's been doing a little bit down south, pushing, but not really enough to make any major territory advancements. And there's still that goddamn Humber behind enemy lines.
Actually, now there's two. Well, no, there's a rifle squad there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that Humber's going to take out a couple of really, really necessary infantry squads in just a second here.
Wow, that's a brutal way to go. I mean, I definitely feel the pain here for General Tur a bit, because it can be pretty annoying to lose stuff right out of spawn from sneaky positions, but you got to give shkodder credit. It's his very good use of his recon vehicles to harass the enemy supply lines.
Well, and that's really what it is, isn't it? He is, however, going to be out of machine gun ammo, so rather reduced efficacy, really, overall.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only got 15mm cannon. I thought it'd be a little bit better, but apparently not. I guess Skijaegers can just kind of stand there and take it like a man.
Which makes it kind of interesting to see what happens when the Humber runs out of ammunition, which is going to happen within about the next 30 seconds or so.
Drive me forwards and then backwards and then forward. We'll run them over slowly.
Well, Skijaeger over here, that's going to cause an issue with the anti-tank grenades.
Yeah.
And he falls silent.
The Humber's completely out of ammo. He just has to smile and rave. Hi guys. Just don't mind me.
Well, that's the two T-34 42s are here, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, right, guys, hold up. I want to come with you.
Actually, I'm kind of curious. Oh no, he's just going around the bend. Like I said, I feel like the information is more important than actually killing things, but I'm old-fashioned.
Yeah. If he does actually get that Humber back to his own lines and resupply it, that will be an absolute champ move, yeah, from Shkodder. I want to see his Humber actually like escape, because he's being chased down by the German Air Force now.
I think it's possible. I don't know where the resupply truck even is.
No, yeah. He doesn't have to get it to a resupply truck, he just needs to get it back to safety for now. And I don't know, if he doesn't pass by at Sturm Skijaeger, I think he will be able to.
I think at this point it's like, oh, I see somebody here now. Let me go a different path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dio is just, you know, he smells blood on the ground somewhere. He's hunting for that Humber. And just gonna be strafing some snipers for now.
Actually, they go to anti-tank gun, which I completely agree with by comparison.
Yeah, it's definitely a better choice. But actually surprised he didn't even get like a single kill here. Just only stressing out the 6-pounder quite a bit. And it does seem like the Humber will make it back to his own lines, which is, well, good for him.
No, never mind. Apparently he has a death wish.
Oh no, what are you doing, buddy? You have no ammunition.
Well, ramming speed, I suppose.
Yeah. Definitely took the wrong path in life at that point.
Yeah, kind of Captain Ahab at this point, isn't he?
Yeah. And the rifle squad actually moving a bit behind enemy lines into its row of houses. I don't think it can like de-transport an infantry truck, but that's really it. But even then, just slowing the enemy down is always a good call.
Actually, this anti-aircraft track might cause some issues here in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. Open fire.
Nope.
Or not.
He's Humber's too fast. No, they're like still trying to chase him down.
And there he stands, inviolate, in the middle of that town. Jeez.
Yeah. God, this Humber is an absolute lad. He should be dead by now. He should be, all accounts, not be surviving this long behind enemy lines without ammunition, but here he is. Yeah, I think the Skijaeger is finally going to put an end to this. Which is a goddamn shame.
Yeah. They definitely stopped at the last second. The truck literally bounced up on its front wheels. It was trying to stop that fast.
Mm-hmm. The off-map being dropped down here. Yeah, it was naval off-map here from Shkodder, so some pretty big kabooms. But even then, I mean, Shkodder does have some rifles being brought in the middle, and he does have a decent-ish armored force as well. But he's not really taking advantage of, you know, the opportunity and just staying back.
In the meanwhile, we're back to a 12-12, despite the economic disparity.
Mm-hmm.
But I think to the north,
Yes.
we're waiting for something. I'm just not sure what the heck that is.
I know, those field engineers are just, I don't know, maybe it's like a drive-in movie theater that we can't see, or some Wizard of Oz. But yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, that is a heck of a parking lot.
Mm-hmm. And they're definitely going to be paying for it with their lives, which is a pretty expensive price, I think.
Hey, man, if you don't go to a matinee, these are the prices you pay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a pre-corona world.
Yeah, 150 just having a field day with such a target-rich environment.
Which is kind of funny because I feel like the 150, while having just like a really rather large caliber, and it's not always the strongest in my mind.
Yeah, I know it's weird with current like on-map artillery, like really good in team games, but in 1v1s it can be a bit expensive to set up like a proper artillery park where you really get your money's worth with the amount of shelling that you can do. So the reason why a lot of people take off maps all the time now is that you can just get a decent amount of quick alpha damage firepower onto a selected area which you want gone. You don't have as much usability with them. Arguably if you do take a lot of sea phase runs.
Well, we are
But
seeing
yeah,
a couple of things. I hate to interrupt you, but there's a 381 off map in the center This latest barrage took out a tank, pinned every single German defender that remains alive, and killed more than a few. And down to the south, actually, there were a couple of the Sherman DD tanks, but we actually did see a Ju-87 carpet bomber coming on in to pick up a couple of kills there. But that looks like the artillery barrage was the signal to unleash the rifles.
Here they go. Man's under capture. Good chunk of that hill now. Little Skijaeger's pretty much caught out in the open with pants down. Not an ideal situation.
Yeah, there's very few situations where you want to be caught with your pants down.
No. Unless you're on the toilet alone. You actually do want to put your pants down, trust me.
Or the Playboy Mansion, I'd imagine. Not that I'd ever really want to go, but, you know.
Oh.
But the Sherman's coming up behind it, just kind of consolidating their gains. In fact, I think even the Staghounds. Wow, a pack of Staghounds. You don't see these guys go outside very often. They hate each other, usually.
No. Little Pack 36 here is so close.
He's close, that's true.
Line of sight.
That's definitely true. He is close, but it's actually kind of weird that none of them can see each other right now.
Mm-hmm.
And down to the south, actually, we're going to even see a Vickers machine gun battalion being brought on in, with 5 of them being brought forward to the front. So it might be that finally, at long last, the flying Vs of Canucks are slowly running out.
Mm-hmm. Definitely wants them to set up a more defensive position in that southern area. Which it makes sense, I guess. He's really trying to put a lot of his defense up north. And now, looking up north, I mean, just those like rifles in the tip of the northern hill meant to capture almost. We're gonna lose one flag there, but still holding that one barracks just because the Brigadier General only has a single Skijaeger Pioneer, one guy all alone, in the midst of craters and all his dead comrades. It's pretty sad, actually.
Pack 36, in the meantime, by the way, gets brought forward, and I think he's going to get a couple of kills. No, never mind.
No.
He's moving instead of shooting. Oh, yay.
He just lose line of sight, though, briefly, and, well, misses his one opportunity. But his second opportunity works. But really get a third? No.
Outside of that, though, the last artillery strike, I think, coming down from that off-map, going to cause a wee bit of an issue for this other town over here to the western slopes. That might be the signal for the next rush? I'm not sure.
We've seen a bunch of rifles being brought on up north, and the field engineers are still just hanging back. I know we have God vision, so we know the northern forest is pretty much completely void of life. But it'd be nice to see shkodder have to do something with this push up north here.
My assumption is he's going to go and say, you're looking left, well, I'm going right, and he's going to pull a Kansas City shuffle.
Yeah.
Because as of right now...
Goddamn devastating.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's quite crazy, man, to get like naval guns in the middle of Belarus to hit this far.
Well, you know, it's one of those uber secret weapons that, they don't talk about very often. And at long last, we have an Opel Blitz truck coming on in. Kind of moderately humorously, though, we're actually going to see the 150 is going to start shelling the Shermans on the actual hilltop, so this will be quite amusing for me.
Mm-hmm. He does have a chance of killing him, because that 150 is pretty powerful, but...
Yeah, but the accuracy.
A consistent chance. But the stress out's decent if they get a bit of a better hit.
Maybe I want to ignore that, because right now we're seeing at long last the wave of Canadians thrashing forwards. And unfortunately, the Ju-87 that could have stopped them is just going to be bombing a completely different target. But in, 2 or 3 companies worth of troops, I would see several platoons at the very least, rushing to the front. We're going to be engaging these rushed-in Storm Skijaegers, and I don't think they're going to last too long.
No, they are heavily outnumbered in this scenario.
And even with Sten guns and Lee Enfields.
Yeah.
Brave Skijaeger dies an ignoble death.
You got the second one coming in. I think he'll definitely take down maybe a few few of those Canadians revamped. Really, Skoda needs to get those field engineers a bit closer to, you know, yeet in that satchel charge. But he doesn't need to. He has enough firepower, it seems.
It does seem that way, but if this falls, actually, it's going to be a rather quick ending to our match, I imagine, because there is very little else here.
Yeah, this is, as you're seeing here, this replays with one of the classic problems with Skijaeger, is that they just do not have enough stuff, especially against spamming divisions such as 3rd Canadians, because really all you need in a 1v1 match is you need infantry spam, you need some good medium tanks, such as Shermans and whatnot, and then just a good amount of off-map. And as you can see, with that sort of combined arms push, you can really push anyone off any objective and just overwhelm them with numbers.
But it is 17-7, and the eco is nowhere close to being in Tura's favor.
No, it's really not looking good for him now. I mean, he still has some Skijaegers up his sleeve, and he still has some tanks. He hasn't really been bringing out too many tanks in total, but it's just not going to be enough. I mean, just looking once again on the minimap, yeah, there's a lot more red and blue.
Which is weird, because you would think they wouldn't be Republicans, but apparently Canadians are all about that.
You see, all the Steel Division is just a political battle.
Oh yeah, it's a bipartisan issue.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to take us through times 2?
Sure, let's do that at 32 minutes.
Cool.
And times 2.
There you go.
And folks, you can kind of see as we kind of go deeper and deeper into Phase C here, despite the brave efforts of the last kind of surviving eeks of troops, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, Tur does have like decent air power. I mean, down south we're seeing a bit of a, you know, strafing run here. But god damn it, the stack counter is surprisingly really good. Like I'm generally astonished how well just 250 cals can shoot down planes.
I think that if you throw enough lead into the air, I mean, eventually it hits something.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the same principle I used whenever I played basketball as a kid. Eventually I should hit something when I shoot.
Yeah.
So you can imagine my teammates are much less enthusiastic about my enthusiasm for shooting. Looking elsewhere, yeah, the Canadians to the north, they are just fine to be hunkered on down. And
yeah,
the rifle squad is still behind enemy lines. The rifle squad is still behind enemy lines.
Oh yeah, he's in actually a good position to spot stuff, but now he's going to try and take it to the next level and engage the artillery. Not going to be enough, as the anti-air is nearby, and he's also pretty anti-infantry.
Oh my gosh, is he going to force them to kill the munitions truck? Yeah, he forces to kill the munitions truck. Oh my god. A hero unit.
That is like 200 IQ play, right? Yeah.
Oh man, that's one of those moments where you're like, Hans, you idiot! You killed our own men.
Oh, that's brutal using a supply truck like that.
And shkodder's now just calling in the meme strike on himself.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he I want to say he misclicked on that, because he is moving all those dudes out of here. But yeah, there we go.
And yeah, it didn't seem like it was really that far off on one side or the other, and then you see the KD.
Mm-hmm. And looking at the kills here...
Bofors, 4 kills. 6-pounder, 5 kills. Oh, jeez. The Staghound AA getting kills. The Spitfire getting kills. I mean, like, there are not a ton of, like, hugely standout stuff, but it feels like everyone at least killed something before they died.
Mm-hmm. Definitely pretty efficient for the Canadians. And looking at losses here... Yeah, one, Stoom Fusilier knocking out a bunch of rifles, the guy in the central town position, I believe, but apart from that, nothing really much from Skijaeger.
Nope. Nope, unfortunately. And we've kind of talked about why throughout the course of this particular replay. But as always, if you guys actually have other thoughts about that, feel free to let us know in the comments below. Any other earth-shattering views, Rang?
None today.
Well, folks, in that case, then, we are going to see you real soon with another replay. But for right now, I'm Conalwork.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.